Hello guys, welcome to part 12 I suppose, and you can hear our radio. It's the 80-meter band. The band is opening slowly and the first signal's coming in. It's nice to hear him talk about the conditions. Yeah, the conditions are not very good at this moment. It's getting slowly getting to the end of the day. The daylight will disappear, and then hopefully the signal's getting better. There are some things to iron out still, I suppose, but as you can see, I put another static screening in there on this side. That's the last of this QSO. Anyway guys, there was a lot of work on this little radio, believe you me, and all the things you don't want were there. So for some reason there was something was coupling between the switch and the coil itself. Very odd. I never experienced that before, unless it was a transmitter, and the parts shouldn't see each other, so you separate them by means of a static shield. Well, I was thinking about that, and I thought by myself, well, haven't I done this? You never know. So I completely took them apart again. So you can see also on the front bracket what I made. First of all, there was a separate bracket on there, so I put another one on. So that is quite better. And there's no obstacles in between now, so I can do what I like. But then again, I had to do quite a lot of things on this little radio. So I will stop the video now for a moment, and I'll see if I can get some more stations on the 40-meter band. You can see, guys, the radio is working. Well, it's it's still light outside. The conditions are a bit better. 40 meter band, unfortunately, is not open yet, so I can't do anything about it at the moment. I will try later on. I will try again, but well, I'm glad the radio is working, and you can see that he is doing quite well for a detector. I don't know what he is, a detector. I will show you in a little bit the new schematic with all the parts on it, and if you want to build this little video, go right ahead. So anyway, you do that on your own risk, of course, and I'll stop the camera for a moment and see if we can find something more, okay? Hello guys, this is the last time I put the camera on. At least I've been working for days to get the radio working properly, and eventually I achieved that. So I'm quite pleased with it. The 20 and the 40 and the 80 meter band are working. There was a dilemma because our bands were not open. So if you made an alteration, you couldn't check it if it would work or not work. So I was deprived of any signal. The only thing is, signal I had was my famous squid dipper here. Well, you know, everything worked properly, but there again, you need signals, and if you don't have signals, you can't do anything about it, can you? So I tried and tried and tried and tried, and eventually I achieved the impossible. Actually, our little radio is working now. I tried it on the 40 meter band and the 80 meter band, so that's it. What I want to do now is to present you with the final schematic, and I said that before because there were before the videos there were mistakes in there, and had a refinement, and you can see it on the board. Well, I'll zoom in a moment, and then you can see the schematic. Anyway, listen for a minute. Okay, lads, I will shut the radio down, and I will show you all the ins and outs of the radio in advance. Okay, hold on a minute, I'll plug in, deplug him, and then out of the socket. There we go, he's off. Oops. And that has to stay, of course. I will remove the antenna for a moment, so it makes it more flexible. I'll turn them around a little bit so you can see what I've done. Let's just see if we can get a bit closer for you. That is max, of course. Sorry about the earthquake. Well, anyway, you see the screen I put on, and it's very effective. That's the little screen. I'll show you the other side a little bit, so you can see the connections. And the connections of the switch. The switch I have to replace also. The other one went up the spout, so it didn't function anymore at a certain point. There was nothing there anymore, so I got so fed up with them I got them out and I chucked them in the bin, that's it. Anyway guys, I want to show you on the underneath as well. See if I can make it out properly. Yeah, I think so. Let's just have to refocus just to make sure. Okay guys, the main alteration I made is this resistor here. You can show you that on the schematic. That was a very important one. It is a separation for high frequency or RF. That improved it quite a bit. What it improved it more or less is this RFC I put in. Actually it was a build up from changes actually, so I changed the capacitance here higher. There's 1000 picofarads, that one, and I changed this one to 10,000 or 15,000 picofarads. Have a look what I've done more. I put a stock resistor in there just to prevent this going into detection. I increased the capacitance of that copper resistor on the grid, 330 picofarads. All in all, what it comes down to, for the 40 meter band, a lower capacitor doesn't come above the threshold of detection, if you know what I mean. The signal is too weak and it starts to whistle and to peep and whatever, but you don't get out, you don't get the signal out, so you have to move it above the threshold. So I did that, so that is enough voltage on the grid now to detection. Because if you have not enough voltage on your grid, there's nothing to regenerate, if you know what I mean. Nothing's going back anymore, so you can't how you call that in English? Regeneration, you know what I mean with this little tickler here. You have to put them on a certain level to get the signal out. So if there is not enough signal, you don't get this right either. So anyway guys, so far so good. The radio is working perfectly. I have a fuse in our high voltage circuit. And I have also a fuse here on our net, so he's actually well protected. If something goes wrong here, this fuse will go. If the load gets too high for the transformer, this fuse will go, okay? Anyway guys, that's so far so good. I will show you now the schematic, and I shut the video down, and there I will conclude this series of building this radio, okay? So hold on a minute, I'll shut down the camera for a moment and I'll come back to you. Okay guys, there's the schematic. I will point out a few things for you. That is that resistor 4.7K and extra electrolytic capacitor I put in there. I have two decoupled capacitors here, and one 110 and one from 220p. So don't make this capacitor too high, and then you get a load on your regeneration on your tickler, and then you can't move that down anymore. There is your RFC instead of a resistor. That works a lot better than a resistor. Then I put on there your coil details. they are both working on the same tap. I made that coil that way so that it will work there, but I must warn you, you must bear in mind you could have perhaps some corrections here in this in those capacitors again, because I've noticed that I will increase that to 330p and the frequency dropped dramatically a little bit. So dramatically, I mean, it's a few 100 kilohertz. Yeah, if I said that right, a few 100 kilohertz it dropped, 150 kilohertz, something like that, dropped down. So the intention was to have 7.4, something like 1.5. Because of that bigger capacitor, that went down to 7.2, but then you're under the threshold of the 40 meter band. So if you want to make a problem of that, you want to exactly have that broadcast band above that, please do, but you have to decrease this capacitance here, this 22p, make 18p from that, and you will have that back. Alright? What's more to say? Yeah, the slot wheel resistor is very important to keep him off detection, because every frequency that comes along here via our copper capacitor from 15,000 to our VR or potentiometer, there's still RF, and then if you have no resistor there, then this starts to detect too, and that's not what you want. That's why that 1K resistor is there and that functions properly, okay? Well guys, I was a very, well, how you say that, a very gratifying build. I loved it, and mind you, there were a lot of problems. There always is when you start off a project and you don't have a schematic and you have to make it from scratch, as I did. Then you run out in all sorts of problems. So I even had to make myself a new transformer here. Worked perfectly. I had to make my own power transformer, worked perfectly. So guys, what can one ask more than have a radio built from scratch, absolutely from scratch, made everything yourself, and there you are. Anyway guys, if you like this video, like the series, give me a thumbs up. I will open up the comment box, and only I want to ask some people, don't send me rubbish with so funny signs or something like that. Give me a decent comment if you like it or not. If you don't like it, you may say it as well. So there you go. But give me a decent comment where I can, well, relate to. Anyway, so guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you next time.